Are you on the ball?
On the ball. On the ball.
What a bunch of knuckleheads, man.
Welcome back to week 2 of 2022.
I think we lived a year in week 1.
Was it long? It was definitely long. It's definitely
It wasn't long. It actually went fast. It just was packed. I mean, every single minute of it was moving and grooving and doing, and I loved it. I had one of the best weeks I've had. Lots of new opportunity, new energy, and then the presentation that we gave on Friday, which we'd spent really good time, good headspace putting it together, was received pretty well.
It was a dinger for sure. It was a great week, and then even this past weekend, it was our first weekend that we've had to ourselves since prior to Christmas. So it was like taking the Christmas lights down, getting caught up on everything around the house. So it was a busy weekend, but feel great. Just awesome start to 2022. I feel absolutely fantastic.
I agree. Good morning, D. Robinson. Thank you for your nice thoughts and comments on
Shout
Friday.
out to everybody that was there Friday. A lot of people in that group and great feedback. I mean, it was just really a great way to kick it off. Nice. Yeah, there's some great.
There you go. I will tell you this, the only thing hard about that, well, let me back up. The office is a absolute gold mine.
Home run.
Home run. Excited, fantastic. We'll be doing a welcome event there. We'll be doing some other cool things there. My goal is I'm not going to be there all the time. I'm still going to do the hybrid thing. But when you're there is an energy. There's a something. So
I think that's working for everybody, or that should be the concept for everybody, is that you have an office, but doesn't mean you're there all the time. Like that new normal is that hybrid where you're there when you need to be there and you're out. And it's this combination of virtual, in-person, in the office that creates a very dynamic working environment.
The technology that was at our fingertips to present was so fantastic. My only take is it's still hard to interact, man. I didn't know where to look and what to do. I'm a little old school, I'm like, am I talking to you? Am I talking to you? I'm like, I'm seeing the back of my head. I'm like, what am I doing? So,
you struggle with the camera a little bit, but you didn't even know there's another camera. There's like a up top camera. So Shay could have been like switching between camera angles for us, but that would have really blown your dome. So I was like, just keep it on the out.
We need practice, man.
There's no way he would have struggled more with the one up top.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, you got to know what your limitations are, man.
That's right.
Decent, awesome, right? Can't start the week without talking about passing of Sidney Poitier. What a classic human being. Who offered such greatness and goodness to the world. Bob Saget was 65 years old. Wow, that was a shocker.
He just did a show at Hard Rock Live. Like he passed away in his Ritz-Carlton room where he was staying to do the show.
He's supposed to be at the Palm Beach Improv coming up.
Right.
Yeah, and he tweeted how much he was into it and some crazy stuff. Still the ongoing saga of a selfish tennis player that wants to change the rules of a whole country. I'm sick of that fucking story. I got to tell you, man.
But he got in.
Which is
The judge made them reverse the deportation rule. He's in. He's gonna play. He's probably gonna win and give the whole country COVID.
It's just unbelievable. He's gonna set the place on fire. But the two stories I do want to talk about are, if you did not see the Steelers game, Ben Roethlisberger, of what could have been his last game, just amazing. It's just amazing the quality of talent and perspiration and grit and crazy. I'm not a Steelers fan, but Mike Tomlin, who nobody really talks about in the great circles, has never had a losing season, man.
He's got the most over 500 seasons in the history of the NFL. Super successful. I mean, I talked about the AB thing. Like, he coached AB for 9 years, and you never saw any of this kind of stuff. So What was he doing that was a different communication for AB? How did he have a different relationship with him? Like, the guy's an absolute rock star, but you got to think that the NFL is happy for them to have the last game of the regular season go into overtime with playoff implications and go all the way down to the wire to kick a field goal to win the game. I mean, just
when the
great football all over the place.
If they tied, it had other ramifications. But the best story of the best sports story of the weekend is this guy, Shea Show Me.
Clay's got Jared Allen on a switch. He went to reach, and Clay down the lane. I think he's healthy. Yo! Got some bounce, looking super bouncy. Crossover gets him by Jared Allen. Dunked on the whole city of Cleveland just now. Just put Lamar Stevens and
comeback stories, baby.
Comeback, it's just amazing when you see stories like that. 2 years the guy was out and he comes back. That's a really good basketball team, really well coached, that adds Klay Thompson. Watch out, man.
Yeah. Awesome to see the resiliency in that guy and to see him, battle. There's so much mental toughness that goes into overcoming those physical ailments, and to see him come out and have a night like that was super awesome. Exciting to see.
So I love success leaves clues. It's everywhere. It's late. Let's get to wake up music because I got a full show for you guys. Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up. Come on, come on. Wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in there. No more back to thinking. Time for thinking ahead. Come on now. Never gets old. Speaking of getting old, I have asked everybody this Happy New Year question. Wait a minute.
And the answer?
It gets better. Shea, show me Larry David once again.
Welcome back once again to Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. I am, as always, Chat Show. Happy New Year to you. I'm going to ask our guest today, who led dossier, when do we stop saying Happy New Year? How long? What's the window? When can we stop it with this?
January 11th.
January 11th. It's already been decided. There it is. Please welcome Larry David. How are you, sir?
Let's talk about this New Year's thing.
Let's get right to it. You say the 11th.
First of all, I only receive Happy New Year.
You never give.
Never give.
Right.
Never.
Because?
Because it sounds awful coming from my mouth because it's so insincere. Because I don't even know what it is. Happy New Year. In what regard? What does it even mean? Like a Happy New Year, like the party is happy, or
no?
What? What's happy?
I think
he's great.
So
he says January 11th.
Right.
Everybody that I've talked to, though, says 1 week. You get the first week. So if you were in this week, you're out on the Happy New Year. Don't tell anybody.
I don't agree. I am putting a flag in the sand and saying I don't agree. If it's January 15th and you haven't seen somebody, you can wish them a Happy New Year. It's great. But it got me thinking about all of the other, like, what are the statute of limitations on other stuff? What about happy birthday?
He's great, isn't he?
Yeah. It's not really his birthday, though, I have to say.
It was a couple weeks ago.
You shouldn't be having a birthday party 2 weeks after your birthday. I mean, what's the statute of limitations there? Well, why don't I have my birthday? My birthday was 2 months ago. I think I'll have a birthday party.
Okay.
Okay, 3 days. No more than that, though. It's not your birthday anymore. There's got to be a time. There's got to be a cutoff point where you can't have birthday parties. Are you so desperate for a party that you have to have a party 2 weeks after? Wait till next year. You missed it.
So boo-hoo, you missed the party.
It's a he's very funny, but I also think it's a week. Like if you're wherever your birthday falls, you get the week. So if it's on a weekend, you get to celebrate that weekend, celebrate that week. Everybody's wishing you happy birthday. It's all good. But it's like, it's really simple. It's basically a week for anything that you're talking about.
I find the whole concept fascinating. I really do, because there is no real rule.
No rule.
You make it up yourself. There's no police that are standing over you going, not one more, you know? So it's just fascinating. I love that about Larry David in particular, because he does look at the language and pick it apart in great ways. But today is someone's birthday. It's going to be our motivational music, and it's going to lead us into a great conversation about energy. We talked on Friday about energy, which got everybody lit up. But right now, happy birthday, Pat Benatar.
Living with my eyes closed, going day to day. I never knew the difference. I never cared either way. Looking for a reason, searching for a sign, reaching out with both hands. Gotta feel the kick inside.
So
I'm fired up.
If that song doesn't fire you up, man, just go stick your head in the oven.
Jesse Lubin with a Rockstar comment, by the way.
So what's that?
Jesse Lubin with a Rockstar comment.
Oh, is that right? What did he say?
You can never do wrong by doing right. Thinking of someone and wishing them well is never late. You can never be late on it. So excellent comment, Jesse.
Love that. So just a comment. Pat Benatar and her husband have been on tour forever. It was one of the best concerts I've ever seen. They rock that particular song. If you're willing to go to Google and find the words, it's like, the deepest cuts are healed by faith.
Oh, look at D. Robinson dropped it at the same time. You guys said it at the same time.
So the words to that song are insane, which a lot of great rock songs are basically poetry. That one's a doozy, because what we're going to talk about is the way you show up matters more than anything. You know, when someone says, hey, do you know Steve Nudelberg? Yeah. That's the way you're going to go through life, man. So, right from the beginning, I made a commitment that no matter what was happening in my life, I was going to show up fired up. I
wrote about it in the book. I did. I wrote about it in the book.
James Thrush said something the other day in one of his, I think in a video, where he said, I can't wait till Mark's book is published so he can say,
yeah.
Just like his dad. But the whole idea that your energy lands in the room long before anything else. People sense it, feel it, you can attach it. When Ben Roethlisberger was in the huddle yesterday, you don't think his energy was connecting all the other guys? So
this is what you leave people with. Like, it's the one thing that, regardless of what you say or what you do for somebody, they are going to remember the way you made them feel. And that transfer of energy, and we talked about a lot of this, on Friday, your mindset feeds it and all the things that feed it. But that feeling that you transfer to somebody is the thing that leaves the biggest mark. So that's your home. That's your calling card for how you make people feel. That should be the most important thing, I would think.
And there's Jen Starkey, who is always on the ball. It's contagious. People feel it. They sense it. They remember it. When I ask people why throughout the years, why'd you pick me? Why are we the firm? They go, your energy is unmatched. Love it. I'm speaking to Thermo Fisher, who I had done a presentation for a year ago. They were dormant. Somebody comes out of the woodwork and says, there's nobody I have ever met that has your energy. I need you in front of my people. Wow.
Remember.
So it's what people remember. It's, but it is mental conditioning, to say to myself, I'm going to show up that way, right? I need to condition myself to do that. People say, how you doing? That was that old tell me, I'm never that way. People say, wow, do you ever get down? You bet your ass I get down. You'll never see it. So I want to break down this energy concept for a second. I read an article recently that said, just fascinating statistic. I'm flying this morning. Over 90% of flights are on time. All you hear about is the ones that aren't on time and the delays.
I gotta tell you, I'm living in that 10% though. My flights are never on time. I'm like the most unlucky human being that I'm living in the 10%.
Hence why I don't fly with you. But the idea is that, there is a roadmap. There is, the eyes in the sky that keep things on track. So if you took energy and you broke it down into like organizing it and being real conscious of your present circumstances, there are 5 different kinds of energy. Write them down. Environment, finances, relationships, purpose, and time. I want to give you a second to think about that, sir, because, if your environment is all cluttered and full of crap and, that's how you're going to show up. You're going to show up unorganized. You're going to show up, that environmental energy is just negative. When you land in a good spot, like showing up in that office on Friday, which was phenomenal, there was environmental energy there. Putting yourself in those kind of positions. If you get in your car and your car is dirty and you can't see through the windshield, that's shitty environmental energy.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. And, I refer to those 5 things as the inputs. Like I like to look at myself as a computer or a machine. And like, if the power cord isn't plugged into the machine, you got nothing. So that's a pretty important input. So like, there's all the other cords that belong in order to get it functioning the way it's supposed to. That is how I think about all of the things that I put into my life in order to then control the energy, because it's like you said, I've always believed that it's my responsibility to show up for the other people. It's not really about me. It's more about what they deserve from me. So does that person deserve to get a dump from me because my life is shitty right now, or because I had something bad happen? What did they do to deserve that?
None of their business. So
Right.
it's interesting, because I would say to people when I would show up on stage about this topic is that, I'm flying to DC. I'll be speaking tomorrow. If I show up shitty, hey, I'm really sorry, man. I had a really bad flight. I didn't sleep well. I was up late watching the championship game. And I'm just going to do my 2-hour, 90-minute presentation. I'm going to get out of here. Is that fair to them? No. We have an obligation to show up. And this is a doozy of a line that I didn't create, but someone said to me one time, every single time you get on stage, it's opening night for somebody. So you think of people who do a play over and over and over again, boom, Tuesday night is opening night for the people that are sitting there. So it's really fascinating. So for D, the sake of D, I'll do it again. Environment, finances, relationships, purpose, and time. So finances, pretty simple. if you're consistently worried about what's going on in your financial life, if you have debt, like I hate desperate salespeople. You can smell them a mile away. I got to make the sale or I'm going to lose my job, or, I'm not going to make my mortgage. That's just not a good place to be. So your financial energy shows up before anything else. So you got to be real careful. Relational energy. What does that mean to you?
The quality of people in my life that feed me, right? So like I equate this to a working environment that I was in where it got to a point where we were in a really bad working environment. The head coach was a poor leader, and it created a toxic environment where everybody wanted to come into my office and sit at my desk to complain about the environment that we were in. And it only compounded the problem for me because I was already in the bad working environment. I was already having to deal with it as well. Now I'm dealing with everybody else coming into my office to complain about the shit I already know about. Like, I'm here, I'm in it with you. So understanding that having those people come in and spend time that way actually created a larger negative effect. So controlling the people that are in your life, the relationships that you have, and the way they feed you and what they do for you, that to me is what it means.
It was the most important energy for me because I would actually have a list of people that I would leave on the side of my desk. And if I showed up and I was not, as I write about in my book, being in the zone, you can scale that. You can say, okay, today I'm a 5. How do I get to a 10? There were certain people I've had on speed dial and just call them up just to say, hey, just wanted to have a conversation with you. I needed a kickstart today. Boom, you get off a 5-minute call with them and you feel great. That's what relationship energy is. You give and take and you're there for people, So we did environment, we did finances, we did relationship. Purpose could fall into a lot of things. Health is a part of purpose. Why do you live? You want to live a healthy life. If you don't have your health, that's no good. All of the other type of things like spiritual, like that's real purposeful stuff.
Why you do what you do. Like that to me is like, we talked about having your own personal core set of values. And that to me is even within an organization, like you have to have your core values that then determine the decisions that you make. And everything has to feed that together in order to feed that fire of purpose. So when you're out of alignment and you're making decisions that aren't in line with your values, creates really negative energy for yourself. So number one, if you haven't defined your core values, you got to do that. But then once they're defined, you really got to evaluate every decision that you make and say, does this fall in line with who I want to be, who I'm striving to be, who I think I am? Does it all fit?
And all of this can be summed up in an exercise that I ask people to do all the time. Take the 3 closest people to you and say, how do I show up? How am I showing up to you? The closest people will be the ones to tell you. If they're really good friends, they will tell you. They're a good friend, a good client, whatever. They will tell you how you're showing up. Organize your energy. Figure out, get all the pistons rolling, and then go punch it in the mouth. I am off to the airport. I am flying to 22 degrees.
Travel safely.
Why
and tell the Harity crew we said hello.
So I get to meet John Harity for the first time today. I've been working with him for over a year. And this is how cool relationships get. He's picking me up at the airport, picking me and Jake up at the airport. So we'll have lunch with him. Tonight's the championship game. Do I get who you picking?
There's 2 people I don't bet against in this world. One's Bill Belichick. The other one's Nick Saban. I'm sorry for all the dogs out there, but this is going to hurt Kirby to happen again. But I think it is.
But so tomorrow morning, tune in because I'm sure your show is going to be all about it. Right?
We'll be talking a lot about championship. I can tell you that for sure.
Championship stuff. Welcome to another week. Get up, get out, kick it in the ass, and get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million